I'll be marching along in the big parade on St. Patrick's Day. I'll be up to me neck in shamrocks as I march along the way. I'll swing that old shillelagh as I wave to each colleen. I'll tilt me ear the better to hear the wearing of the green.
Oh, the Kellys from Killarney, the Murphys from Kildare,
the Hallahans and Callahans who came from County Clare.
There'll be folks from dear old Dublin all the way to County Cork.
They'll be marching in the big parade right here in old New York. Oh, the mayor will be in the big parade, strutting high and grand, and behind him will march 1,000 cops who come from Ireland. Those beautiful songs of Erin, the band will play them all. We'll march along, we'll singing the song, the harp will carry us all. Those sons and daughters of Erin, 100,000 strong, will be singing the songs of Ireland as they march along. Their eyes will shine with laughter, their hearts will all be gay, when the Irish all turn out to celebrate St. Patrick's Day.
We'll be marching along in the big parade on St. Patrick's Day. Not for all of the tea in Dublin would I ever stay away.
I'll trip the light fantastic, and how proud I'm gonna feel. The band will play Go Witcha Go Way, a good old Irish reel. There'll be Cooney Mulrooney and Mickey O'Dowd cutting up capers and pleasing the crowd. Hogan and Grogan will kick up their heels, singing and dancing the jigs and the reels. The Connells, O'Donnells and Larry O'Toole, Maloney, Mahoney and Lefty O'Doul, nibble a man as happy as they on St. Patrick's Day. I'll be marching along in the big parade, twinkle in me eye.
We'll be proud as 1,000 peacocks with our heads up in the sky.
I'll be there, you can betcha, when the band begins to play, and the Irish all turn out to celebrate St. Patrick's Day.
Things in Glockamora. Is that little brook still leaping there? Does it still run down to Donegal through Killybegs, Kilkerry and Kildare? How are things in Glockamora? Is that willow tree still weeping there? Does that lassie with the twinkling eye come smiling by? And does she walk away sad and dreamy there, not to see me there? So I ask each weeping willow and each brook along the way, and each lass that comes a-sighing to relay, how are things in Glockamora this fine day? Things in Glockamora. Is that little brook still leaping there? Does it still run down to Donegal through Killybegs, Kilkerry and Kildare? How are things in Glockamora? Is that willow tree still weeping there? Does that lassie with the twinkling eye come smiling by? And does she walk away sad and dreamy there, not to see me there? So I ask each weeping willow and each brook along the way, and each lass that comes a sighing to relate how are things in Glockamora this fine day.
Now Clancy was a peaceful man, if you know what I mean. The cops picked up the pieces after Clancy left the scene. He never looked for trouble, that's a fact you can assume. But nevertheless, when trouble would press, Clancy lowered the boom. Oh, that Clancy! Oh, that Clancy! Whenever they got his Irish up, Clancy lowered the boom. Boom, 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 boom. O'Leary was a fighting man, they all knew he was tough. He strutted round the neighborhood, a-shooting off his guff. He picked a fight with Clancy, then and there he sealed his doom. Before you could shout, "O'Leary, look out!" Clancy lowered the boom. Oh, that Clancy! Oh, that Clancy! Whenever they got his Irish up, Clancy lowered the boom. Boom, 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 boom. Now Clancy left the barber shop with tonic on his hair. He walked into the pool room and he met O'Reilly there. O'Reilly said, "For goodness sakes, now do I smell perfume?" Before you could stack your cue in the rack, Clancy lowered the boom. Oh, that Clancy! Oh, that Clancy! Whenever they got his Irish up, Clancy lowered the boom. Boom, 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 boom. Mulrooney walked into the bar and ordered up a round. He left his drink to telephone and Clancy drank it down. Mulrooney said, "Who drunk me drink? I lay him in his tomb." Before you could pat the top of your hat, Clancy lowered the boom. Oh, that Clancy! Oh, that Clancy! Whenever they got his Irish up, Clancy lowered the boom. Boom, 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 boom. O'Houlihan delivered ice to Mrs. Clancy's flat. He'd always linger for a while to talk of this and that. One day he kissed her just as Clancy walked into the room. Before you could say the time of the day, Clancy lowered the boom. Oh, that Clancy! Oh, that Clancy! Whenever they got his Irish up, Clancy lowered the boom. Boom, 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 boom. The neighbors all turned out for Kate O'Grady's wedding night. McDougall said, "Let's have some fun, I think I'll start a fight." He wrecked the hall, then kissed the bride and pulverized the groom. Then quick as a wink, before you could think, Clancy lowered the boom. Oh, that Clancy! Oh, that Clancy! Whenever they got his Irish up, Clancy lowered the boom. Oh, that Clancy! Oh, that Clancy! Whenever they got his Irish up, Clancy lowered the boom. Boom, 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 boom.
Sure, 'twas the most beautiful sight you ever did see when Clancy lowered the boom.
3 years ago, this very day, I left the Port of Cork, and on a ship from old Erin's Isle I landed in New York. Without a friend to meet me there, and a stranger on the shore, but I wore an honest Irish heart, and fortune came galore. So here I am back again on dear old Erin's Isle. The friends, they meet me on the quay, and they greet me with a smile. For there's faces there that I surely forgot, for I was so long away. But me mother, she introduces all, and this is what she says.
"Shake hands with your Uncle Mike, me boy, shake hands with your sister Kate. And this is the girl you used to swing down on the garden gate. Shake hands with all of the neighbors, and kiss the colleens all. You're as welcome as the flowers in May to dear old Donegal."
Well, they gave a party when I came back, and they came from near and far, and the road was lined for near a mile with Irish jaunting cars, and the whiskey flowed like buttermilk to fill our hearts with joy, and the piper played an Irish reel to greet the Yankee boy. So tomorrow out to church I'll go, and wedded I will be to my pretty little Colleen, sweet Biddy McGee. For Biddy was true and faithful to her Barney o'er the sea, and will join the harp and shamrocks for the stars of liberty. There came Brannigan, Flanagan, Milligan, Gilligan, Duffy, McGuffey, Malacky, Mahone, Rafferty, Lafferty, Donnelly, Connolly, Dooley, O'Hooley, Muldowney, Malone, Kelowna, O'Hona, Lanahan, Flanahan, Fagan, O'Hagan, O'Houlihan, Flynn, Shanahan, Manahan, Fogarty, Hogarty, Kelly, O'Skelly, McGinnis, McGinn. Pat O'Brien was late.
Then shake the hand of your Uncle Mike and the hand of your sister Kate.
And I'll hug and I'll squeeze as much as I please the girl in the garden gate.
Then invite all the neighbors to the wedding, great and small.
And I'll live content and pay no rent. Indeed, old Donegal. My name is McNamara, I'm the leader of the band. Although we're few in numbers, we're the finest in the land. We play at wakes and weddings and at every fancy ball. And when we play to funerals, we play the march from Saul.
Oh, the drums go banging, the cymbals clanging, the horns they blaze away. McCarthy pumps the old bassoon while I the pipes do play. And Hennessy, Tennessee tootles the flute and the music is something grand. A credit to old Ireland is McNamara's band.
Right now we are rehearsing for a very swell affair. The annual celebration, all the gentry will be there. When General Grant to Ireland came, he took me by the hand. Says he, I never saw the likes of McNamara's band.
Oh, the drums go banging, the cymbals clanging, the horns they blaze away. McCarthy pumps the old bassoon while I the pipes do play. And Hennessy, Tennessee tootles the flute and the music is something grand. A credit to old Ireland is McNamara's band.
Oh, my name is Uncle Julius, and from Sweden I did come to play with McNamara's band and beat the big bass drum. And when I march along the street, the ladies think I'm grand. They shout, there's Uncle Julius playing with an Irish band. Oh, I wear a bunch of shamrocks and a uniform of green, and I'm the funniest looking Swede that you have ever seen. There's O'Briens and Ryans and Sheehan's and Means, they come from Ireland, but by Yemeni I'm the only Swede in McNamara's band.
All the drums go banging, the cymbals clanging, the horns they blaze away. McCarthy pumps the old bassoon while I the pipes to play. And Hennessy, Tennessee tootles the flute and the music is something grand.
A credit to old Ireland is McNamara's band. That's McNamara.
One leaf is sunshine, the second is rain, third is the roses that grow in the lane.
No need explaining, the one remaining is somebody I adore.
I'm looking over a four-leaf clover that I overlooked before. I'm looking over a four-leaf clover that I overlooked before. One leaf is sunshine, the second is rain, third is the roses that grow in the lane. No need explaining, the one remaining is somebody I adore. I'm looking over a four-leaf clover that I overlooked before.
Johnny Doughboy found a rose in Ireland, sure the fairest flower that Erin ever grew. Oh, the Blarney in her talk took him back to old New York, where his mother spoke the sweetest Blarney too. Johnny Doughboy found a rose in Ireland, and she stole his heart with smiling eyes of blue. He said, "Darling, 'tis my duty to make an American beauty of a sweet Irish rose like you."
Have you heard the drastic tale of Monaghan?
Mohan,
Well, his county can be proud of him as any county can.
he can.
Brave and strong of limb was he, Irish to the bone. For he sang in Irish tenor, but he fought like a baritone.
Yes, he fought like a baritone. Tone, 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 tone.
His mither was waiting for father one night when whoosh they heard a terrible fight. In faith and begorra, the clan of O'Hara had worked his poor father up into a lather, and there was a lad at the age of 2 saved his father from that whole crew. Don't ask me how, I'm telling you. What did Monaghan do?
What did he do? What did he do? What did he do? What did he do?
What did he do?
Yes, what did he do?
You mean Monaghan. What did Monaghan do? Yeah, well, it's a decent question, deserves a decent, courteous answer. I'll be glad to tell you now. Well, he jumped in the lake, he doubled his fist, he ruffled beside the card. Well, he waltzed around in the sand beside him, he looked him straight in the eye. Well, he never beside him, he caught him beside him, he heard him, he sort of a tell. Well, he never sort of a talt, right in the face.
What did he say?
Right in the face.
Oh!
As he grew up, he grew and up to 22.
T2.
He didn't brawl at all, nor would he drink or chew.
Kerchoo.
Gesundheit.
True, he was to Malmahon, right up to the last.
Rose of a summer, which he bloomin' well left alone. But oh, the fates played a terrible prank when Molly, she fell in the whiskey tank. Ho ho, laughed Monaghan, faith, what a joke. No, cried Molly, I can't swim a stroke. Yes, says she was sinking and him never drinking was faced with a puzzle. If he could guzzle enough of the stuff, she'd be saved, no doubt. How did he figure it out?
Figure it out, figure it out, figure it out, figure it out.
You mean when Molly fell in the whiskey tank? Well, I'll be glad to tell you exactly what happened, how he saved her from a fate worse than death. Well, he dived in the lake and he started to swim, and my Molly was there at the time. And he's swimming a stroke and it's every was and he come and throw the rye. Well, he go for salt and he clap at his head, we go for the castle to sell. Well, and that's how we figured it out.
And that's the drastic history, completely true, of Monaghan, the first Irish stew.
Of Monaghan, the first I'll be with you in a minute, don't go away, Irish.
That's a darling voice you have there.
Oh, thank you, me lad. Stone.
Have you ever heard the story of how Ireland got its name? I'll tell you so you'll understand from whence old Ireland came. No wonder that we're proud of that dear land across the sea. For here's the way me dear old mother told the tale to me. Sure, a little bit of heaven fell from out the sky one day and nestled on the ocean in a spot so far away. And when the angels found it, sure it looked so sweet and fair, they said, suppose we leave it, for it looks so peaceful there. So they sprinkled it with stardust just to make the shamrocks grow. 'Tis the only place you'll find them, no matter where you go. Then they dotted it with silver to make its lake so grand. And when they had it finished, sure they called it Ireland. they sprinkled it with stardust just to make the shamrocks grow. 'Tis the only place you'll find them, no matter where you go. And they dotted it with silver to make its lake so grand. And when they had it finished, sure they called it Ireland.
Tim Finnegan lived in Walken Street, a gentleman Irish mighty odd. He had a tongue both rich and sweet, and to rise in the world he carried a hod. Tim had a sort of a tippling way, with a love of the liquor he was born. To help him on with his work each day, he'd a drop of the crater every morn.
Back for the down, now dance to your partner, well, the floor your trotters shake. Wasn't it the truth I told you? Lots of fun at Finnegan's Wake.
One morning Tim was rather full, his head felt heavy which made him shake. He fell from the ladder and he broke his skull, so they carried him home, his corpse to wake. They rolled him up in a nice clean sheet and laid him out upon the bed, with a gallon of whiskey at his feet and a barrel of porter at his head.
Whack was the down, now dance to your partner, well, the floor your trotters shake. Wasn't it the truth I told you? Lots of fun at Finnegan's Wake.
His friends assembled at the wake, and Mrs. Finnegan called for lunch. First they brought in tea and cake, then pipes, tobacco and whiskey punch. Biddy O'Brien began to cry, such an eight clean corpse did you ever see? Our Tim of Onion, why did you die? Ah, hold your gab, said Paddy McGee.
Whack from the down, now dance to your partner, well, the floor your trotters shake. Wasn't it the truth I told you? Lots of fun at Finnegan's Wake.
Then Biddy O'Connor took up the job. Biddy says she, you're wrong, I'm sure. Biddy gave her a belt in the jaw and left her sprawling on the floor. Then the war did soon enrage. 'Twas woman to woman and man to man. Shillelagh law was all the rage, and a row and a ruction soon began.
Whack for the down, now dance to your partner, well, the floor your trotters shake. Wasn't it the truth I told you? Lots of fun at Finnegan's Wake.
Then Mickey Maloney raised his head when a noggin of whiskey flew at him. It missed and falling on the bed, the liquor scattered over Tim. Tim, he revives, see how he rises. Timothy rising from the bed says, whirl your liquor round like blazes. Thunderman Jowl, do you think I'm dead?
Whack for the down, now dance to your partner, well, the floor your trotters shake. Wasn't it the truth I told you? Lots of fun at Finnegan's Wake.
An American landed on Erin's green isle. He gazed at Killarney with rapturous smile. How can I buy it? He said to his guide. I'll tell you how, with a smile he replied. How can you buy all the stars in the skies? How can you buy 2 blue Irish eyes? How can you purchase a fond mother's sighs? How can you buy Killarney? Nature bestowed all her gifts with a smile, the emerald, the shamrock, the blarney. When you can buy all these wonderful things, then you can buy Killarney. Such a wonderful landscape you never have seen, a jewel so rare 'twould befit any queen. Pride of old Erin, a joy to behold, heaven on earth, far more precious than gold. How can you buy all the stars in the skies? How can you buy two blue Irish eyes? How can you purchase a fond mother's sighs? How can you buy Killarney? Nature bestowed all her gifts with a smile, the emerald, the shamrock, and the blarney. When you can buy all these wonderful things, then you can buy Killarney. Then you can buy Killarney.
50 years ago, me father left old Erin Shore. He landed his shillelagh in hand and divil a penny more. He got a job and then a wife and then a family. But ups he dies and left his old shillelagh stick to me. Sure it's the same old shillelagh me father brought from Ireland.
And divil a man was prouder than he as he walked with it in his hand.
He used to take it to bed with him, he'd never part with it.
And divil a bit, we'd laugh at it, poor Dad would have a fit.
Sure with the same old shillelagh me father could lick a dozen men. As fast as they got up, he'd knock 'em down again. And many's the time he used it on me for to make me understand. It's the same old shillelagh me father brought from Ireland. I'm going on the police force, it's the only thing to do. Instead of having one night stick, big Gutty, I'll have two. If there's a fight, I'll do it right, no one will bother me. I'll have the old shillelagh stick me father left to me. Sure it's the same old shillelagh me father brought from Ireland.
And divil a man was prouder than he as he walked with it in his hand.
He used to take it to bed with him, he'd never part with it.
And divil a bit, we'd laugh at it, or Dad would have a fit.
Sure with the same old shillelagh me father could lick a dozen men. As fast as they got up, he'd knock 'em down again. And many's the time he used it on me for to make me understand.
It's the same old shillelagh me father brought from Ireland.
Ginny Dugan gave a party, sure it ended in a brawl. Poor Callahan was in a chair when they threw it through the wall. Muldoon cried out, 'tis very plain that peace will have to be, or else I'll use the stick me dear old father used of me. Sure it's the same old shillelagh me father brought from Ireland.
And divil a man was prouder than he as he walked with it in his hand.
He used to take it to bed with him, he'd never part with it.
And divil a bit, we'd laugh at it, for Dad would have a fit.
Sure with the same old shillelagh me father could lick a dozen men. As fast as they got up, he'd knock 'em down again. And many's the time he used it on me for to make me understand.
It's the same old shillelagh me father brought from Ireland.
I've met some folks who say that I'm a dreamer, and I've no doubt there's truth in what they say. But sure a body's bound to be a dreamer when all the things he loves are far away. And precious things are dreams unto an exile. They take him o'er the land across the sea. Especially when it happens he's in exile. from that dear lovely Isle of Innisfree. And when the moonlight peeps across the rooftops of this great city, wondrous though it be, I scarcely feel its wonder or its laughter. I'm once again back home in Innisfree. I wander o'er green hills, through dreamy valleys, and find a peace no other land could know. I hear the birds make music fit for angels, and watch the rivers laughing as they flow. But dreams don't last, though dreams are not forgotten, and soon I'm back to stern reality. But though they pave the footways here with gold dust, I still would choose the Isle of Innisfree.
There's a pretty spot in Ireland I always claim for my land, where the fairies and the blarney will never ever die. It's the land of the shillelagh. My heart goes out there daily to the girl I left behind me when we kissed and said goodbye, where the dear old Shannon's flowing, where the tree-leaf shamrock grows, where my heart is I am going to my little Irish rose. And the moment that I meet her, with a hug and kiss I'll greet her, but there's not a colleen sweeter where the river Shannon flows. Sooner or later I'll be mailing, or soon I will be sailing, and I'll bless the ship that takes me to my dear old Erin shore. And I'll settle down forever, and I'll leave the old sod never, and I'll whisper to my sweetheart, come and take my name a store, where the dear old Shannon's flowing, where the tree-leaf shamrock grows, where my heart is I am going to my little Irish rose. And the moment that I meet her, with a hug and kiss I'll greet her, but there's not a colleen sweeter where the river
sweetest flower.
search everywhere, but none can compare with my wild Irish rose, my wild Irish rose, the dearest flower that grows. And someday for my sake she may let me take the bloom from my wild Irish rose. When Irish eyes are smiling, sure it's like a morning spring in the lilt of Irish laughter. You can hear the angels sing. When Irish hearts are happy, all the world seems bright and gay. And when Irish eyes are smiling, sure they steal your heart away. Come on, everyone, one more time.
When Irish eyes are smiling, sure it's like a morning spring in the lilt of Irish laughter. You can hear the angels sing. When Irish hearts are happy, all the world seems bright and gay. And when Irish eyes are smiling,
Oh, that warms the cockles of me heart. Sure they steal your heart away.
Tooraloo-raloo-ra, tooraloo-ra-la, tooraloo-raloo-ra. Hush, now don't you cry. Tooraloo-raloo-ra, tooraloo-ra-la, tooraloo-ra-loo-ra. That's an Irish lullaby. Over in Killarney, many years ago, me mother sang a song to me in tones so sweet and low. Just a simple little ditty in her good old Irish way, and I'd give the world if she could sing that song to me this day. Tooraloo-raloo-ra, tooraloo-ra-la, tooraloo-ra-loo-ra. Hush, now don't cry. That's an Irish lullaby.